take a look. You know, can I notice something? 45, 50 minutes in, everybody talks about the Tea Party and certain demographics of the Tea Party thing. May I observe that we're 45 or 50 minutes in, and other than Thomas Paine, I'm the only Caucasian man who's been on stage? I mean, I'm just saying. Oh, I don't want to make too much of that, but the very, very fact of the matter is, you know and I know that it's not what pigment is in your skin or what your native language was wherever you were born. If you are in America and want to preserve America, you can be a Tea Partier, and we thank God to all of you for being here. We so appreciate it. Now, if part of our big problem is getting out of debt and solving the debt, a lot of people say that the country ought to be run more like a business. I mean, you can't run a country exactly like a business, but if you use some business sensibility, you can solve a lot of debt. There's a gentleman who we've come to know who was a consultant for the U.S. Army and a retired businessman from Dallas with some thoughts on debt and how to get out of it. Join me in welcoming Mr. Mike George.
Hello, I'm Mike George, and as Mark said, I'm a retired businessman who helped the U.S. Army cut their spending and waste by $14 billion the first year, and they're just getting warmed up. Did you hear the news yesterday? Ben Bernanke, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, said that we will be having deficits of more than $1 trillion for the next decade, and that it will get higher after that. He says this will continue until Congress cuts spending. Do you think they will do it? Do you want to hear how we can cut spending by $1.5 trillion per year? I know this can be done because the U.S. Army is in the process of cutting all their costs by more than 20%. They eliminated programs that did not work. They cut out waste that did not help our soldiers. Applied across the whole government, this will reduce spending by $1.5 trillion per year, and that is a conservative estimate using OMB numbers. The details are all in the book, SOS, Our Economy is Sinking, which is at the Strong America Now booth right over there and being passed out. We've got 8,000 copies for you. Now, cutting spending by $1.5 trillion per year will balance our budget without raising taxes. It will also allow a 50% tax reduction to small business and allow them to start hiring again. Presidents Reagan, Kennedy, and Harding all use tax reduction and spending reduction to get us out of an economic mess. Now, what is Obama's approach to this problem? Exactly right. He's going to raise tax rates. He will let the Bush tax cuts expire. Will that reduce the deficit? Will that reduce unemployment? We know it won't work. Because in 1931, Herbert Hoover raised taxes on a weak economy. He increased unemployment. He increased the deficit, and the government actually received less money after the tax rates were increased. This crippled business growth, increased unemployment, and led to the Great Depression. We don't want that to happen a second time. Now, Obama's higher tax rates will leave us with higher deficits. We will have triple the national debt within 10 years, and the cost to just service the debt, the interest cost, will be $1 trillion a year, according to Chairman Bernanke. This isn't me speaking, it's the Federal Reserve. We'll have to borrow the money from the Chinese, but they won't lend the money unless we bow to their will, as the Treasury Department did last week and suppressed this report until the Chinese president left. You and I inherited an America which was a land of opportunity. Obama is taking that opportunity away from our children and our grandchildren. So what am I going to do about it? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to speak to Tea Parties in all the primaries in Iowa and New Hampshire. I'm going to convince those Tea Parties to only support presidential candidates in primaries who will agree to cut spending by $1.5 trillion and give us a balanced budget. I know that I cannot achieve this goal without the help of God. And I ask you for my prayers in achieving this success. God bless you all, and God save America.